Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the backlighting there. It's okay. As my phone falls, sorry about that. Stay. Okay. Today I just kind of wanted to chit chat about my relationship with Lilith and how she came to be into my life. I've been meaning to make this video for quite some time, but I haven't really figured out a way to kind of put it together, so, yeah, I guess I will do that today. So first, before I get totally started, grab yourself a beverage. I'm not sure how long this is going to be. I've got some bourbon and Coke. Four Roses, so whiskey and Coke. You know, living it up today. I also want to grab my book here. Oh, we'll get into this later. Lilith actually first kind of came into my consciousness through the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which I've got a lot of mixed feelings about that show. It is kind of a guilty pleasure. I do like to watch it, but I have to remember to take everything with a grain of salt because none of the... It's all fake. It's all not factual. You know, it just kind of, in my personal opinion, enforces the satanic stereotype of witchcraft in general, but I don't know. It's dark, it's creepy, there's a lot of blood. I personally really like that in a show, like, sometimes. So, Lilith kind of came to me in that. And the first time I saw it was, I believe, let's see, 2018 or 19. When did it come out? I'm not sure when the first season came out. 2019, perhaps? Something like that. 2018? One of those years. Tail end of 2018, maybe. But, yeah, so Lilith kind of came into my consciousness there. And it wasn't until 2020 that I really kind of started to feel a pull towards something. I wasn't sure what goddess it was. I knew it was some sort of... I don't know if I'd consider Lilith a death goddess per se, but a dark goddess. I was being pulled towards a dark goddess for sure. And actually I had like October of 2020 or something was my first time taking mushrooms, and I did that, and that experience, that psychoactive experience kind of solidified my previous thoughts. I had gone into that experience in a spiritual mindset. It wasn't necessarily, I mean, it was recreational, but it wasn't necessarily just to see what happens. I was hoping and kind of open to the possibility of there being some sort of spiritual context or spiritual thought process going on. So that trip was really kind of what solidified my basically my thoughts on who was poking at my, you know, shoulder, who was knocking at the door, and yeah, so that was pretty much it. And then was it, Okay, it was the, sorry, sticky pages. It was the new moon right before Valentine's Day that I decided to dedicate, of 2021, that I decided to dedicate myself to Lilith, because she came in quick and strong, and I just knew. It was one of those things where, like, the way I may get into another video sometime soon about how I view deity, and it's a very archetypal Jungian kind of way. Basically, if you've watched any of Kellyanne Maddox's videos and her thoughts on deity and how she views deity through the lens of consciousness, if I can, I will link that video down below. If I remember. I'm horrible with that. But it's an older video, but I'm not good with putting things into words. I can think it and I can feel it, but vocalizing things, I have a pretty hard time with, which is why there's a lot of ums and a lot of breaks in these videos, because I don't necessarily always have the means to vocalize what I'm trying to say. So with that being said, Kellyanne Maddox's version, or not version, her view, basically, of the way that deity is in her life as like a higher level of herself. It's just like a, not necessarily a split personality, but just kind of like a higher version of herself. I view Mother Mary in a very similar way, but my relationship with her is pretty rocky, because I'll get into that maybe in another video. But so back to Lilith. So I see her more as like a version of myself. So like when I visualize her in the astral, in her like human form, her personified form, I kind of see a more wild version of myself. You know, a little more frizz, more bigger hair, more, she just resembles myself in a lot of ways. So it's not like a mirror image or anything like that. It's just, I see me most, you know, like I see myself in the mirror every single day. So that's kind of like the closest type of image I would see in a personified being, if that makes any sense. I'm not sure. At least for a female deity. In the past I worked with Anya and Fladai. Both of them are Celtic goddesses, and it was kind of similar when I would see them on the astral. It was a similar kind of thing. So that's kind of how my brain works, I guess, when I'm on the astral. So with that rambling aside, like I've dabbled with other goddesses before, but Lilith, there was something else, something different. I was ready for a dark goddess to be introduced into my life. I was ready for the messages that she was willing and able to give to me. Prior to that, I was not. Oh, sorry, my computer. Prior to 2020, I was absolutely not ready. I had actually, when I was kind of searching for other goddesses, said out loud that I don't want a dark goddess, because I wasn't. Lilith is all about shadow work. That's like 90% of all of the associations that I've found, not only personal gnosis, but just general gnosis and associations that everyone kind of agrees on. Shadow work is one of her things. Boundaries, bindings, banishments, blood magic, which I don't do a ton of blood magic, but I do some magic when I'm on my period. So I guess that would be kind of a form of blood magic. But so far a ton of my work with her has just been strictly boundary setting, shadow work, and I've done one banishment spell, which I have to record into this big book here. I have all of the recordings in another book, but you know, mostly shadow work, journaling, just like heavy on the journaling, that kind of thing. So, and I don't necessarily call upon her for every single little thing that I'm having a problem with, but I just know that she's kind of there in the background. So in, I think it was like September-ish, I don't know, I didn't write it down and I'm really mad that I didn't, but September-ish, we'll say, of 2021, I got my dedication tattoo for her. So, in some of her myths, I've read, and I kind of enjoy that, some people interpret the snake in the Bible to be Lilith. She's also personified, animized, whatever, as a screech owl is one of her animals. So snakes and screech owls, she's visited me or come to me more as a screech owl in my meditations, but generally speaking, I really like the association with the snake. So I'll show you my tattoo. I chose peonies. I don't remember why. It seemed right at the time, but then I've got the tail of the snake here. I'm sorry for that backlighting, that's really annoying. I've got the skull, and then I've got the head of the snake coming out of the skull, and it comes down here. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the death mark in Harry Potter. So that's kind of cool. I don't hate that. And yeah, I don't know. So basically all of the stuff that I have told you so far is mostly just personal gnosis. I don't know. I don't know how else to, I don't know really what else to say. I kind of, I don't have a ton of like stones associated with her. The herbs and incenses and stuff. I do a lot of basically anything that is sensual or something that would make you feel sensual. So deeper, more muskier scents, certain flowers. I burn a lot of rose. I have gardenia oil, essential oil that I will put in baths for her. Sandalwood, clove, things like that, more heavy scents. which is fine because that's what I'm drawn to the most anyways. Like, regardless, like, prior to discovering Lilith, I was really into those anyhow. I do really like lavender for her too, but that's more of just a general scent, I guess. Amber is another one. I just bought an amber essential oil, and it's super strong, and I love it so much. Have yet to use it in a bath, but that's probably next on my list. I tend to go for like silver with her. I'm drawn to more of like metally metals, so like rustic like looking bronze or silver, like this moonstone ring, for example, is sterling silver, but it's not like super duper bright. I don't necessarily go out of my way to clean things once they get like kind of dull and tarnished. I kind of just let them be. Red, black, deep purple. In a vision, she's come to me with more purple eyes, so red hair and purple eyes, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of what else. I don't even know. I mean, given that she is the first woman, and that she was Adam's first wife, but was banished from heaven, banished from the Garden of Eden because of her inability to be subservient to a man. That story has helped me a lot, generally speaking. I was raised Catholic, and Lilith wasn't even brought up. The Catholic faith doesn't acknowledge Lilith whatsoever. Which, I guess, whatever. I think it's more of a Sumerian or Jewish mythology. I'm not 100%. I'm bad with remembering things like that. It's not that I haven't looked it up before, but it's just been a while, and I'd have to refresh my memory. And it's not anything kind of really out in the open like Norse paganism and stuff like that. I don't know. Lilith is just the one for me. And I know that a lot of people might disagree with that, and they might say that you have to be initiated to follow her or whatever, but I don't subscribe to that. I don't. And, I hope that if you're interested in Lilith at all, you'll look into her. There's not a ton of information, unfortunately. I do have some books. Where are they? I haven't really read it yet. I've had it for a while, but it just seems like an interesting read, even though it might not have a ton of Lilith itself in here. think it's more on like the satanic path, but Lords of the Left-Hand Path, I saw and I found to be incredibly interesting. Of course, you know, the apple and the snake kind of drew me to this book, of course, but yeah, so that's one, and then I have some others. Oh, here they are. I'm not gonna give you like a full review on any of these books, but this one's called Pagan Portals, The First Sisters, Lilith and Eve. Lilith, From Ancient Lore to Modern Culture, by E.R. Burner. That first one is Lady Hate Ashton. Right here. I don't know if you can see that. And then this one is The Magic of Lilith, Calling Upon the Great Goddess of the Left-Hand Path, by Baal Kadmon. Which actually, I think this one might have been where I found this one, with the left-hand path kind of stuff. So, yeah. Now, I'm not satanic by any means. I don't necessarily follow the satanic Church of Satan or whatever the hell that is. Again, I look at Lilith as an archetype, not so much a like a separate being. I'm not I'm by no stretch of the imagination a polytheist, I guess you could say. But yeah. Then let's see here. Come on, computer, quit it. I need your light. This book here actually was made for me by, well, we're not currently dating, but we are still friends and we're, you know, going through it, so that's okay. Things happen. But this was made for me by him. This huge, heavy grimoire, which I plan on, these circles he made on purpose so that I could do the 4 elements and then whatever I wanted in the front, which I plan on making like little watercolor things, and then either finding like an orb to go over the top, or just set it with a bunch of Mod Podge or something shiny, I don't know. But yeah, that's this one. I've named it The Book of Blood and Bone. It's also evolved into more of that's what the main cover looks like. I might redo it. I'm not really happy with it anymore. I was at the time when I made it, but now I'm just kind of like, I could do better. So I might go over it. But I've written poetry for Lilith, and I create mostly art for her. Move that out of the way. I mostly create art for her, and I write letters to her. I've had meditations with her and I record them. This is my new moon ritual for my dedication, which I plan on redoing probably this year. It'll be 2 years, so. And then, you can't really read any of that, but that's okay. I've done thoughts on her. I've taken this page out of a another journal, and I've kind of Frankensteined it into this book, and then I've written letters for her, prayer cards. Let me see. Serve all in turn. Oh, in truth, in compassion, and in grace. And then this one. I kind of look to Lilith more for self-empowerment. Whether or not how I go about it is conventional, I don't know. I just kind of do what feels right for me. I've got addresses to her. I like to call her different names. Let's see. There's a bunch of different ones. Eternal Virgin, the Lady of Death, the Mother of Demons, Satan's Lady. I don't work with Satan at all, or Lucifer, but I do kind of enjoy the play of their relationship and how that works. If there is really one, I just kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of, I like the kind of the duality there. The Lady of Blood and Bone, Queen of Hell, Queen of the Dark, Lady of the Dark, Lady Lilith. Lady Lilith is the one I use the most. Maiden of the Dark Shadows. I haven't used that one yet, and I thought of it, but I like it. Dark Queen of the Shadow and Bone, and Queen of the Night, and I'm sure I'll come up with more as time goes on. And then I've got Anointing Water, which I use to bless myself most mornings. And then, now there are some things from my Catholic upbringing that I do enjoy, which I always did like dipping my finger in the holy water and doing the sign of the cross, but of course that doesn't resonate with me anymore. So instead, I'll dip my finger in the water, and I'll do a pentacle. And I kind of organically came up with that on my own, so you can take that or leave it if you want to. You're more than welcome to use it if you were Catholic like me and like to bless yourself, but you can't really figure out a good way to do it. So earth, air, fire, water, spirit is kind of how if you say it out loud, that's kind of how I've put that together. So I've got an anointing oil for her as well. And yeah, this was an existing printout, and I just kind of painted over it. And I add things to this book all the time. I'm really working at a slow pace. So like I've said, this book has evolved from just a book for Lilith, and I also have stuff about Mary in here. So that's the only one I have right now. Oh yeah, this one is my most recent. I have an envelope in here. This was a cry for help to her after Roe versus Wade was overturned. I also add green in here for her. This is a Wild Woman Self-Love and Protection sachet that I have to finish writing in here. But, you know, oh my gosh, sorry. So yeah, I have the Self-Love and Protection sachet. I kind of, I feel her outside a lot, in the forest. I kind of feel like, you know, the greenery and stuff, the Garden of Eden, that kind of thing. That's kind of the association that I have with that. And then also I associate her with cycle breaking. I'm in the process of doing a lot of that. I have been for the last couple of years because I've just noticed that both sides of my family have a lot of issues, and there's a lot of cycles, specifically with relationship and other people, and then also relationship with yourself, neurodivergence, that kind of thing, how that manifests, and then also affects your relationships with other people. That is another thing that I associate with Lilith heavily. So I've got, you know, a page on that I haven't started yet. This page is still in progress, so I'm not gonna look it up and show you. And that's pretty much it so far. I can show you more of this book and more detail, I guess, when I have more filled out. But I'm just gonna leave it here. It's heavy. It's a very heavy grimoire, but it's one of my most prized possessions, and even if he and I never get back together officially, I'll always be grateful for it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Lilith right now. I might come up with other things if you're if you have any questions, or if you're interested in my other perspectives on her or whatever, like I don't even know. I can't think of anything right now. But if you have any questions on anything at all, please leave comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you work with Lilith, how do you view her and how do you use her in your practice? I identify personally as a pagan witch, so I utilize her in that way. And same with Mary. I utilize her as her own thing outside of the Catholic Church, because yeah. But since working with Lilith, I have gained so much confidence in myself, in the way I see men specifically. I'm not man bashing or anything by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, I've used her energy to kind of help me navigate that territory, because it's so weird right now, and my relationship with men in the past hasn't been the greatest, and that's a family generational trauma and all that crap that I'm sifting through and cycle breaking. So she's helped me a lot with my shadow work and figuring out who I am as a person, how I think, how I act, and why I do certain things, why I ended up getting married to who I was married to, and how that sort of thing really messed me up, and all of that kind of thing. So no hate on men at all, but I think more men could use Lilith in their life, to be honest. You know, boundary setting, cutting ties, really just kind of laying it all out on the table, and you know, being my own person instead of, you know, being subservient to others all the time. Yeah, so that's it. I hope this video was helpful or informational or enjoyable in any way. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Sorry for the length in advance. I did tell you it might be long. So, but yeah, have a great day. Bye.